My guy, Playoff P, is back. He wouldn't let his team lose last night. Paul George put together one of the single greatest performances ever in an elimination game to keep hope alive for the Clippers. This is only the fourth time in NBA history a player had a 40-point, 10-rebound game, shooting over 70% from the field with his team on the brink. Think about that. George was incredible. Saved his best for the third quarter, where George just simply exploded. You got to almost jog them at the Rolodex, but the Suns actually briefly took a 1-point lead in the third, 62-61, on a Chris Paul jumper. George exploded for 18 of the 20 points he scored in the third quarter right after that. He made 7 of 8 shots in the third quarter, and the Clippers went up by 13 heading into the fourth. That's Playoff P. He earned the heat and the criticism and the disdain 1 year ago because he was dreadful in crunch time. But now without Kawhi, he's back to being a superstar who carries his team. I didn't think he was capable of this. He's proven me wrong. No Kawhi. How about no Zubats last night? And no problem. I didn't give the Clippers any shot with Zubats out. I gave them no chance. How about Ty Lue, with that said? The team had no chance, and Ty Lue somehow maximizes them. He's an amazing coach. He's just an absolute gem. Coaches his Clippers up, just like he did the Cavaliers. Challenges them, knows what buttons to push. Amazing in-game adjustments, game to game. It's incredible. In-game adjustments, game-to-game adjustments. And what he's done with his back to the wall historically, I mean, it's just special. Ty Lue, one of the best in the profession. I mean, he is an outstanding NBA coach. And how about Phoenix last night? Didn't bring their A effort, and it was truly disappointing. I mean, Monty Williams, I was with him. He wasn't happy post-game, and I don't blame him. Playoff P and Ty Lue pounced on a lack of effort from the Phoenix Suns. For the Clippers, that was an epic show. The Dodgers and Giants, it always lives up, and it's always a big deal, and it's always fun. And when Mookie Betts and Max Muncy went back-to-back, the fun was underway in Los Angeles for the Dodgers as LA beat San Francisco last night, starting out the game with a bang-bang. That's the Dodgers' way of letting the Giants and the baseball world know that even though San Francisco was first to 50 wins, even though the Giants are stunningly in first place, it's LA that has more talent. It's the champs from last year that will repeat this season. The Dodgers are going to win the West. The Dodgers are going to win the World Series. Trevor Bauer was excellent and tough last night, and I loved his celebrations. Like he always does. He's the best in the business in terms of kicking derriere and taking names. And look, in baseball, they always say that momentum is your next day starter. And one of the reasons why you love the Dodgers, I mean, they've got just a galaxy of aces. But this pitching matchup tonight is just superb. It's delicious. Walker Buehler and Kevin Gausman. I mean, Kevin Gausman, this is a stunner. Those numbers, I mean, he's been a stud this year for San Francisco. But give me Buehler at home to keep the good times rolling. I love real hate in sports. It's rare nowadays. The fans hate each other. The players hate each other. I love when a series like this lives up. I love pitching. I love defense. I love the timely hitting of the LA Dodgers. That soundbite really makes me smile. The Raiders have tried desperately to get my guy Derek Carr, a true number one receiver. Well, yesterday, Carr took matters into his own hands, and it's just awesome. Carr wants Davante Adams in Vegas, and why not? And he said all the right things. They have the built-in chemistry. They are incredibly close friends from their time together at Fresno State. And I love this. Carr, as you heard, called Adams the single best receiver in the NFL. Not one of the best, the absolute best. And you know he believes that. And you know that's how to get to a receiver's heart and ego. And Carr understands that. And without question, he knows that Adams is available. And Adams is a free agent at the end of the year. And there's a realistic chance he's not going to want to hitch the old wagon to Jordan Love. So this all sounds amazing and very realistic for 2022. I mean, who's going to stop this plan? Because there's a 0% chance that Aaron Rodgers is in Green Bay for 2022. And Adams has not been offered a megabuck contract yet. You know, normally, when you consider blowing your hands Brian Gutekunst, you know, he doesn't usually offer this kind of player a megabuck deal, even though that he deserves it. And Davante Adams should become the highest paid receiver in the NFL because he's a star and he's up next. And if I'm Davante Adams, I wouldn't sign for a penny less. So at the end of the day, your move, Goonie. But this is what happens when you mess around with the most talented quarterback in Aaron Rodgers in NFL history. There's a domino effect. Players are going to run away, whether it means a better chance to win or a better chance to get paid or put up numbers or have built-in chemistry like Carr and Davante Adams elsewhere. If you're a Raider fan, this is music to your ears. Remember, they tried with Antonio Brown. It was an epic disaster. They reached on Henry Ruggs. We went ballistic on time to Schein. Ruggs over CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. And it was terrible, just terrible. And that has bust written all over it. If you're a Packers fan, you know there's a realistic chance that next season Adams is a Raider and Rodgers is a Bronco. This is living in hell if you're a fan. Welcome back. Time to shine. So much to talk out on a Tuesday. The Milwaukee Bucks will look to take a 3-1 series lead tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. So it begs the question, are the Milwaukee Bucks lucky or good? Let's talk this out together. I believe the Milwaukee Bucks are lucky. When you consider what happened to Trae Young in game number 3, the fact that he stepped inadvertently on the ref's foot and rolled his ankle, I mean, you can't make that up if you tried. Trae Young was piping hot the entire game. The Atlanta Hawks were outplaying the Milwaukee Bucks until that happened. Now, obviously, Chris Middleton hit shots and took advantage, but take a look at the regular season numbers versus the postseason numbers. It's pretty obvious if you watch Milwaukee play that they're not playing at the level they played at in the regular season. Think about the Brooklyn series. James Harden got injured in the first minutes of the series. Kyrie Irving, he got injured in game number 4, didn't play again. Kevin Durant hit a game-winning 3 in game 7 to win the series until you realized his foot was on the line. Now, obviously, in the history of sports, you've had teams that have had the ability to take advantage of luck. The 1996 Yankees, my New York Yankees, Joe Torre's first World Series. Obviously, Jeffrey Mayer leaned over the fence, and he certainly interfered with what would have been an out, and they called it a home run. That's lucky. And then the Yankees were able to win a World Series. I mean, we all know what happened with the tuck rule and Adam Vinatieri clearing a room to kick in the snow for the Patriots. By the way, that started the greatest dynasty in the history of professional sports, and the Patriots were great. Look, I don't have a good feeling about the Bucks. I don't watch them play and get inspired like I did with the Yankees and their dynasty or with the Patriots and their dynasty. Joe Torre's a Hall of Famer. Bill Belichick is the best who ever did it. And you have Mike Budenholzer, and if he wins a championship, that's going to make me shake a little bit. I think this team is absolutely lucky. Give them credit for taking advantage of it, but injuries have been a big deal here when you consider what Milwaukee has been able to accomplish. New Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka said on Monday that he's excited to work with young forwards Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and push them to be great. I'm obsessed with that quote. Can Udoka get more out of the Celtic stars? Let's talk it out together. Yes, he can. And I think this was a really solid hire for that reason, because these guys know from their work with him, Team USA basketball, that he is going to push them. Al Horford loved the year that they were together in Philadelphia, and he understands how to push players and maximize players. 7 years in the NBA. He was a journeyman, a worker bee, obviously didn't have a silver spoon in his mouth. I think that goes a long way, and I think that Brown, and most especially Tatum, I think they have another gear. I think they have another level when it comes to stardom, and I love that this is going to be a priority, and I think that'll help attract free agents for the Boston Celtics as well. The show goes on. Shohei Ohtani hit another home run last night against my pathetic New York Yankees for his Major League Baseball leading 26 of the season. With Ohtani and his 2.58 ERA set to take the mound on Wednesday, is Shohei Ohtani having the best two-way season in MLB history? Let's talk this one out together. Yes, he is. Shohei Ohtani is the ultimate show. I mean, take a look at this bat speed. Exit velo 117 miles per hour getting out of Yankee Stadium. That was beautiful. And remember, this is the same Ohtani. Talked about him yesterday on Time to Shine. He had the double, the triple, the homer, and the steal against Tampa Bay. Take a look at the numbers, right? And go back to 1919, Babe Ruth. He was a member of the Boston Red Sox where they sold him to the Yankees for no known to net. Had to pay off the payments on a failed Broadway play. Google it, kids. I mean, look at the numbers. And the Babe was able to play in 130 games. Ohtani is on pace to absolutely shatter these numbers. 1919 last year, where Ruth was a hitter and a pitcher, obviously go to the Yankees and dominate in historic fashion on offense as a legendary slugger. But look at, even as an example, the strikeout to walk ratio. Look at the whip. And assuming health for Ohtani, I think in terms of starts, he will obviously shatter the 15 for Babe Ruth. You watch him pitch, and John Smoltz the other night on MLB Network said, he basically has Jacob deGrom kind of stuff. I mean, this is why I say you compare him to Ruth, you compare him to Paul Bunyan. It's mythical, it's magical, and this is the greatest two-way season ever in the history of Major League Baseball. I am just obsessed with the show. I'm obsessed with his genius, and I can't get enough of my guy, Shohei Ohtani.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.